So we close chapter 22, which was mostly about the offering of Isaac by Abraham because he loved God more. We close it now with these 4 verses, actually 5 verses, and it is Genesis 22:20-24. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah, she has also borne children unto your brother Nahor. Huz, his firstborn, and Buz, his brother, and Kemuel, the father of Aram, and Chesed, and Hazo, and Pildash, and Jitlaph, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begot Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother. And his concubine, whose name was Rumah, she bore also Teba, and Gaham, and Thahash, and Maachah. Folks, I know they're strange names, some of whom we've never hear from again. But let's pick this apart. Back in Genesis 11:29, we read a short account of Terah's family and his immediate offspring who left Ur bound for Canaan, but stopping over in Haran. And Abram, this is what it says. And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. Haran, Abraham's oldest brother, was the father of Lot and 2 daughters, Milcah and Iscah. Now the truth is that Terah's line appeared to be the only righteous line that was in communion with the one true God. We know about Abraham's side until now. But here Moses, who wrote this, chose to fill us in on what happened to Abraham's brother Nahor. Though Sarah was barren, Milcah bore Nahor 8 children. The first child was a son named Huz, also known as Uz. This name should sound familiar, as later a land would take on his name, from which came Job. As we read in Job 1:1, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. That means he shunned it completely. He stayed away from evil completely. The second was Buz. Now, one of these descendants was Elihu, one of Job's accusers, and we find him in Job 32, verse 2. The third was Kemuel, who fathered Aram, who, according to Fawcett's Bible Dictionary, was probably head of the tribe Ram, to which belonged Elihu, Job's friend. I don't think it's a coincidence that the first 3 would be linked to the oldest book in the Bible, Job. Now, the fourth child was Chesed, about whom we know absolutely nothing. The 5th, 6th, and 7th were Hazo, Pildash, and Jitlaph, about whom we also are told nothing. But then comes Bethuel, the 8th son. He fathered a daughter whose name was Rebekah, meaning a rope with a noose, or and snarer. Moses inserted this part here to hint a special significance in the future. And what about the meaning of Rebekah's name? It was a prophecy of things to come. And being the daughter of son number 8, Rebekah is probably part of a new beginning to come. As we already previously discussed, this meaning of the number 8 in biblical numerology. Now, as I examined verse 24, the last verse in this chapter, I noticed that these names are mentioned only here in the Bible. So why include this? First, we notice that Nahor, the other half of the righteous line, had a concubine. Frankly, if I had been writing this, I wouldn't have even included this verse. But this brings me to my second point. The Hebrew writers were obsessed with details. Details are part of what makes our Bible so special. You see, our Bible details richly the good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly. Without accurately highlighting details, we could never depend on this holy book as a source of truth. Details authenticate our scriptures and keeps them from being altered, no matter what the other religions of the world claim. So in short, if my Bible can't withstand the test of time in its impeccable reliability, then everything in it must be a lie too. So I conclude this chapter with the words of Jesus. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. And we find that in Matthew 24:35, Mark 13:31, and Luke 21:33. But yes, here we get a brief genealogy of the other half of the righteous line. And that is what Abraham is going to be counting on in the future.